They are in 6th place. Yasin Ferrati down in 7th, so they're 6th and 7th respectively. Kaz Havercourt is in 2nd place. Mari Boya in 3rd. Oliver Girth in 4th. Kaz Havercourt, your championship leader. The green black car, that is Philip Ugran, Kaz Havercourt alongside. So the top 10 on the grid is going to be an 18-minute plus 1 lap race. This, the least points scoring race of the weekend, 1 and 2. 25 points go to the winner. This one, it is just 15. So it's Ugran and Havercourt, Boya and Girth, Dufek and Simonazzi, Ferrati and Fluxa, Nozov and Bordas. Lights are coming on. We get ready to go racing here at Paul Ricard, and they're off. And a brilliant start there from Kaz Havercourt. And Kaz Havercourt has already taken the race lead before they've even got towards turn number 1. They're side by side in the background there. Mari Boya and Oliver Girth going side by side. One of the cars getting a bad start, but it looks like Kaz Havercourt is going to take the lead, but Ugran's trying to fight back. Ugran trying to get through turn 2. Almost contact between the pair there, and I think Havercourt has just been able to hold on. Ugran having to back out of that one. They're side by side now going down towards turn number 3, 2 by 2 into turn 3 and round the outside there. Philip Ugran takes the lead straight back from Kaz Havercourt, but he's struggling to control the car now. Side by side they go into turn 5, and Philip Ugran somehow is back. It looks like Mari Boya has gone through into 2nd place as they now sweep round turn 6, turn left into 7, and onto the back straight we go. Oliver Girth challenging Kaz Havercourt for 3rd place now, once in the lead. Kaz Havercourt now struggling to stay in 3rd, and in the background there, that looks like we're side by side for about 6th or 7th place there. One of the cars going off on the inside of the run down the back straight. Into the chicane we go, and a good start this from Philip Ugran as he now twists his way through the chicane side by side a little bit further back. There looks like Ivan Nozov battling away there, almost making contact with someone, but up they now go to turn number 10. Single file here in the background. You can see drivers trying to look left and right, trying to make moves, but out front it is Ugran from Boya, Girth, Havercourt, Fluxa. Simonazzi is in 6th place, just a little bit out of shape there we saw, but Bordas, Ferrati, Nozov and Dufek are your top 10, and a clean start and a hectic start there, Elliot.
Yeah, it's always difficult when you lose the lead at the start and then you have to reclaim it a few corners into the race, but Philippe Ugran did a very good job there, and especially getting through turn 1 and 2 cleanly when you do have that kind of side-to-side action going on.
Well, what would that have done for the tyres, though? It's been a lot of strain on the tyres already on this first lap.
Yeah, a lot of stress, and we've also got a lot of rubber that's been laid down by the sessions before it. So as you can see, one of the Prague F4 cars getting very slippy as soon as they go on the Margaret, and actually locks a brake going into the final corner as the cars come onto the pit straight for the first time. They're completing the first lap. Philip Ugran 0.82 seconds ahead of Mari Boya. Oliver Girth in 3rd. So we have MP Motorsport drivers in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but potentially one in 5th now if Lorenzo Fluxa can make a move. Doesn't look like he can through turn 1, sticks around turn 2, he stays behind. Yeah,
Lorenzo Fluxa in the predominantly green colour car there. The MP Motorsport are the orange and black cars, and you can see Fluxa being forced right to the inside there by former race leader Kaz Havercourt, but Fluxa has now gone through, so Havercourt in danger of dropping back even further. He's got Francesco Simonazzi now behind him in the blue and black colours in the middle of our picture as they now turn their way through turn 6. 15 minutes plus a lap remaining out front. Ugran starting to build a lead here over Mari Boya. Oliver Girth into the podium positions here. That will make Franco Colapinto very happy indeed. Lorenzo Fluxa trying to go with them in 4th place. Havercourt just about managing to hang on. He's really struggling to get settled down here. Simonazzi is then in 6th. Behind that is Bordas and Yasin Ferrati. Yasin Ferrati looked like he was challenging for 7th into the chicane. Oh, and then we've got someone running a little bit wide there, going straight across the chicane. I think that may have been Simonazzi who went off and across the chicane, is now going to have to slot back in behind Kaz Havercourt.
Yeah, and I think he might have actually gained 2 places there, and on coming back on the track he got back into line, but did let one car pass, so he might need to let another, because he's between the 2 Prague cars now.
Yeah, I don't think it, I mean, he says he went past Havercourt, but I think he's slotted back in behind. We're looking at the Nozov-Dufek battle now in screen. Here they come up towards, this is the Simonazzi battle we can see on screen. It looks like someone trying to dive down the inside. I think that might be Enrique Bordas, we can see trying to make a move. Behind that, Ivan Nozov and Yasin Ferrati are battling away. Here's Ugran, our race leader, through picture, but it's the lower order of the top 10 where it is all kicking off so far as they twist their way now into the final corner. You can see Suleiman Zamfari there. He's running in 11th place in the green and black colours as they now come onto the start-finish straight. Up towards the line they go. It is Ugran leading from Boya in second place. Girth in fourth and third. Then it's Fluxa, Havercourt, Simonazzi, Bordas, and then behind that a whole queue of cars, including Ferrati. Nozov was the car just jumping out of the toe there to try and fill the mirrors of somebody. And they now head through the left-hander. Just looking a little bit further back, we saw the number 85 there, Valdemar Eriksson. There's the number 77 going through the picture as well. As they now come in towards turn number 3. Ivan Nozov coming under pressure there. Into turn number 3 they go, and almost a little bit of contact there. Josh Dufek that was trying to make a move, couldn't quite get through. He's got Suleiman Zamfari behind him as well. 13 minutes plus a lap remaining.
Yeah, and we've already got one car under investigation, car number 85, that's Valdemar Eriksson, who did, of course, hit his teammate Lena Buller into a roll yesterday. He's had track limits abuse on the first lap. So it wasn't the driver who went over chicane and completely missed it who's got the warning, it's actually Valdemar Eriksson. Seeing the cars run down the very long Minster straight, which is, of course, broken into two by chicane on this layout that we use.
Yeah, and a little bit of side-by-side. Oh, that's Ivan Nozov. I think they're trying to dive down the inside of someone. I think that may have been Enrique Bordas he was trying to dive down the inside of. You can see the top 6 are all breaking away, particularly the top 5. But behind that, it is all kicking off. Nozov to the far left of picture, trying to get down the inside into turn 10, and he's almost going to complete the move. They're going to be side-by-side with Enrique Bordas there. Behind that, we've got Dufek as well. Dufek now trying to get down the inside of Ivan Nozov. Can't quite do it. Suleiman Zamfari in the green and grey there, just having a watching eye over this, and Nozov still going to be on the outside of Nozov now off the track. He comes back on there to try and take that place back, but that's a place lost for Ivan Nozov.
It's a great side-by-side action there. Very lucky with the Progress 4 car going over the curbs, because we've seen in other races with lower ride heights where they've just lost the front wing entirely when they've had to jump over those curbs after the chicane. And there's another move being lined up by, it looks like one of the Drivex cars. So that'd be the 12th place car of Collinot. Oh, Ivan Nozov coming alongside again into the final corner. He's clearly unfazed by what's happening.
Yeah.
So come down the start-finish straight. Philippe Ugran's got a smaller lead than he did previously. Marion Boyle, we're still looking at the battle at the bottom end of the top 10. Nozov in 10th, trying to defend, and in front of him is the MP Motorsport car and Progress 4 car side by side. And it does look like Dufek's taking the position there.
Yeah, Dufek through. So this is Suleiman Zamfari all over the back of Ivan Nozov, but Augustin Collin on home soil was there. Javier Sagrera is there as well. We have a look at our race leader for the first time in a while. It's Philippe Ugran leading from Mari Boya. Oliver Girth was quickest on track, but he's now falling back into the clutches of Lorenzo Fluxa and the number 27 you saw there of Kaz Havercourt, who's going to be trying to recover in the second half of this race. And the blue colours just in the background coming through picture there, that is Simonazzi. This is Yassin Ferrati now making his way down the back straight. This is a replay. This is Ivan Nozov. Oh, and a spin there. That was behind Ivan Nozov. In fact, that's Suleiman Zamfari, who has been taken out by, I think, Augustin Collinon. So contact there. We'll know when they drop down the field. Suleiman Zamfari has indeed dropped down the field. So he was definitely one of the drivers. He was the driver that was tagged round. I think it may have been Colin on the other, because he has also lost places as well. And there is now a yellow flag out at turn 4. Ugran leads from Boya. 7/10 is the gap between them, but that battle still going on. Nozov here in the blue and white colours is broken away. And
Kaz Havercourt is dropping down the order. We can see him on track now. He's going very slowly in the number 27 car. Is there potentially damage there? Camera's panned away again, so we're not going to see the outcome of that, but he was dropping down the order very quickly. His safety car is on standby as 2 Drivex cars go side by side. I expect the safety car is going to be called out. Yep, and we're now under safety car conditions. Well,
for the second time this weekend, we go under safety car. There is the number 8. So it was Javier Sagrera who was the other driver involved in that incident. He was the driver that spun and went into Suleiman Zamfari. And Zamfari has now dropped down the field. So safety car is called out into action, and we can take a little bit of a breather in this F4 Spanish Championship race. Hopefully, it won't take too long to get those two cars. In fact, that's what they are. Recovered. So here is it. This is Javier Sagrera trying to go around the outside of Suleiman Zamfari and just ask too much of the car and the tyres, and round he goes and into Suleiman Zamfari, who did continue, but Javier Sagrera was not. You can see Sagrera to the right-hand side there, just having to come to a halt. And we also, as Elliot Wood was saying, Kaz Havercourt has also come to a stop, which is big news when it comes to the championship. Kaz Havercourt, who absolutely dominated at the first round. And Kaz Havercourt is your leader. He's on 83 points. Oliver Girth is second in the championship on 55 points. Mary Boyer is third in the championship with 45 points. Then it's Fluxer with 36. So Havercourt has this big gap over the rest of the field of 28 points, that is, in total. Now, the points scenario for this race, the winner will get 15 points. Races 1 and 3, it is 25 points. That's because you have the fastest time from qualifying 1 to set the grid for race 1, and the fastest times from qualifying 2 earlier set the grid for this race. But this 15 points, so Oliver Girth now, he's the nearest to Kaz Havercourt. He will finish, if he finishes third, he scores 10 points, so the gap will come down to 18 points. But if Boyer wins, he will also close the gap to, I think that's going to be 23 points. So we'll get closer. Really, this is what the rest of the field needed. They kind of needed Kaz Havercourt to have a bit of bad luck here. Philippe Ugran, who is guesting here at this round with the Genza team, has done absolutely fantastic to take a win, a pole and a win, and now starting from pole, he looks like he's in a good position to go on and win this race. But Mary Boyer will want to put a stop to that. Mary Boyer, name I'm very familiar with actually from when I used to commentate karting, was one of the best up-and-coming drivers in karting over the last few years. Only just come into single-seaters, no surprise to see him already challenging for the lead. Oliver Girth right up there as well. There's so many drivers in this field that are only new to single-seaters. It's the starting block in the single-seater ladder. But the safety car is in this lap. So your top 10, Ugran, Boyer, Girth, Fluxer, Simonazzi, Ferrati, Dufek, Bordas, Nozov and Ericsson. The pace will now be controlled by race leader Philippe Ugran. There you can see the number 85 of Valdemar Ericsson. He currently sits in 10th place as he's racing with the FA Drivex school colours. The familiar Fernando Alonso colours, of course, but Philippe Ugran now controls the place there as they come up towards the final 2 corners. He will decide when to get his foot down. He's had to do this yesterday, a safety car restart. He nailed it on that occasion. Will he be able to do the same today? You can see already from the start of this race, he does not give up a lead without a fight, but Mary Boyer is going to have his boxing gloves on behind, and he's going to be ready to take the fight to him as they come onto the start-finish straight to get the race back underway. 5 laps now completed as they come across the line, and Mary Boyer just looking out the commentary box window. How close is he going to be as they come down the straight? Mary Boyer not close enough to make a move. The top 4 all trying to escape. Ivan Nozov in the background looks like he's challenging Enrique Bordas. He looks to the outside there. Does Ivan Nozov? He's going to be side by side. More side by side action going on in the background. Nozov is running wide. He's now going to come under pressure from Valdemar Ericsson. You can see the number 26 there of Augustin Collinon battling away with Carlos Martinez as they now head down towards turn 3. And once again, Ivan Nozov having to defend him. He's had a real tough race. Valdemar Ericsson trying his best to get past. Behind Ericsson is Adrian Palo on home soil. Oh, there's a move down the inside. That was Enzo Giuli trying to make a move on Leonard Bula. Leonard Bula, who had that roll yesterday, and move was not completed just there. There's the 34 as they go onto the back straight. That is Enrique Bordas, but a good restart there, Elliot, by Philippe Ugran.
Yeah, and at the very back, actually, we had Merbod Shimeli in this Sol XL Motorsport car being passed by all 3 Global Race Service cars. As 2 MP Motorsport cars in 2nd and 3rd swap places at chicanes. Coming back at them, we've got 4th place Lorenzo Fluxer right on their tail as well, and he looks like he's got the best exit out of the chicane while Ugran sprints away ahead. I don't think what the MP Motorsport cars will be trying to change position at turn 10, but they might. Gover's brave, and so is Boyer, as you've seen in karting.
Through turn 10, now Oliver Girth up into 2nd place. Great move there. That was his chance to do it, and Mary Boyer's got to be careful because Lorenzo Fluxer is right there behind. Also behind is Francesco Simonazzi. Oh, and running wide there. Was that Oliver Girth? I think that was running wide. Oliver Girth is now going to drop down the field. He's dropping to 5th, 6th place, potentially even 7th there. It's going around the outside is Josh Dufek, and Josh Dufek now up into 6th place. So what a disaster for Oliver Girth. He's dropped from 2nd to 7th in 1 corner, and it looked like by all his own doing as well. And Rick Bordas is trying to get involved in this fight as well, as they now come through turns 14 and in towards turn 15. We're into the final few minutes of this race now, 4 minutes plus a lap to go, and all of this playing into the hands of Ugran, as this looks like Simonazzi and Ferrati battling, and it is Ferrati leading the queue, Simonazzi the one behind, trying to move to the inside here, and Simonazzi not quite able to make the move. Ferrati being brave to turn in. Ferrati is into 4th place, Simonazzi 5th, Dufek right behind in 6th, and then behind that we're going to have a frustrated Oliver Girth trying to recover, and at the back of these 5 is Enrique Bordas as they come in towards turn number 3 there. That's Simonazzi being passed by Dufek. Brilliant move around the outside there from Josh Dufek, and Oliver Girth dives down the inside there, almost contact, and Oliver Girth starts his recovery. Does he with a good move? A good attempted move, but not quite able to get through. So I think Elliot, he'll be on the move when they get down this back straight once more.
Yeah, that was a very brave move to attempt. He's now got Kiki Bordas on his tail. These drivers are just swapping positions and losing a lot of time to Felipe Ugran, and we've only got probably 3 laps left. Just got a message from timing that after Stewart's investigation, incident involving cars 8 and 27 won't have further action. That was the Segura and Kaz Havercourt clash, and that's what caused Kaz Havercourt to, of course, come to a halt. Although I do believe that was actually another car involved with Segura. So
yeah, that was Suleiman Zamfari, yeah.
Yeah, and actually we've just seen Suleiman Zamfari at the back of the picture going through the chicane entirely. So he's not having a great race.
Well, at least I believe it was. Anyway, there we go. There's the number 22 going through picture. That is Paul Adrien Palot. Just over 2 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Good battles all the way throughout the field here. Absolutely fantastic racing as ever. Once again, this is the number 84 here, battling away. The 85, sorry, which is Valdemar Eriksson.
And remarkably, before the safety car, Kaz Havercourt actually set the fastest lap. And no one's beaten that since, despite him not being on track.
Out of the final corner. Well, let's have a look at the gap. 1.7 is the gap between Boyer and Ugran. When they cross the line, will it be the same? There goes Ugran past our commentary box window, and there goes Boyer, 1.9. So Ugran is extending his lead, and you can see in the green car, second in queue, that is Lorenzo Fluxa, and they're trying to dive down the inside, which Josh Dufek on Yassin Ferrati as they now turn right through turn 2 and up towards turn 3. So this is from second down to 5th. We can see currently in picture all the rest of the cars in the background, but we're concentrating on this battle from second to 6th place here. Our leader out of shot now. He's 2 seconds to the good. That is Josh Dufek, who didn't finish yesterday, so any finish would be a good result for him, but he will of course want to get a top 5 finish, or at least a podium maybe. He's getting closer to potentially challenging for one with the rate he's going at. Less than a minute plus a lap to go though. Are we going to see a battle develop for second place? Ugran's got this one in the bag unless he makes a mistake. Now, who's going to finish in second? Is it going to be Mari Boyer there, or is it going to be in the green colours, Lorenzo Fluxa? Through the chicane they go. Behind that in the predominantly blue, that's Yassin Ferrati. Oh, and Ivan Nozov running a little bit wide there. I think you're used to seeing what he looks like by now. Coming through picture here, this looks like the Eriksson and Adrien Palot battle as they head through turn number 10. And so far, so good for Philippe Ugran. He's had to deal with a safety car, he's had to deal with being passed at the start, and he's controlled it perfectly so far.
Yeah, we've seen Merbosh Shimeli at the back of frame, had got back past 2 of the Global Racing Service cars. At the chicane there as well, Lorenzo Fluxa did go for a move, but he was very loose on the brakes, and he immediately backed out as soon as he kind of got to the apex of the corner. We're following Nozov and Valdemar Eriksson and the Drivet school cars behind. That is one of the MP cars at the back, the lowest place of them. As the number 22 car comes through, here's Philippe Ugran on lead. He's got a very comfortable lead now, I think, and this will be the final lap as he crosses the line. So we could say he's got the win in the bag, as third place car following second, MP Motorsport. MP Motorsport's got 6 cars out this weekend, so you know, one of them is at the back. They've always got a backup who can get on the podium.
Well, I saw the guys eating dinner last night, and I thought, how many cars do they have here? Because there was enough of them, let's just say that. But here is your battle for second place. Mari Boyer leading Lorenzo Fluxa. Yassin Ferrati behind that with Josh Dufek. Josh Dufek in a situation, does he sit where he is and see if these guys start battling for second, or does he go for it? I think being a racing driver, he'll probably do the latter as they head down now to turn number 3. Into 3, there you go. This is the battle for 4, Ferrati versus Dufek. Simonazzi not too far behind that either. But Boya's had a really good first sector here, and he's just given himself a little bit of a cushion to play with. Meanwhile, we look back, this is Girth trying to hold off Kike Bordaz. Coming out now of turn 7. There goes Ferrati. This is Simonazzi. We pick up as he heads now down the back straight, but all good for Philippe Ugran. It's this battle for second. It's getting a tad closer in this second sector, is it? In fact, no, you can see Lorenzo Fluxa is the one actually coming under pressure, and Lorenzo Fluxa having to defend here from Yassin Ferrati. Yassin Ferrati looking to the outside, trying to sweep all the way around the outside. Ferrati down the inside at turn 9, can't quite get the move. Having to take to the exit there was Lorenzo Fluxa, and they're going to be 3 wide now. Coming down towards turn number 10, Lorenzo Fluxa gets right back across to the inside of the circuit. Yassin Ferrati looks like he's going to be caught in the middle here as they come up towards turn number 10. To the far outside is Simonazzi, also is Dufek there in the black and orange colours, and Dufek's going to potentially get a podium finish. He's trying to dive down the inside, almost contact with Fluxa. Yassin Ferrati once wide, and here comes Simonazzi. Simonazzi now takes 2 places to get up into 4th place, and Fluxa just about able to hold on. So it's Simonazzi now leading this battle. Behind that, Dufek side by side with Ferrati. But as that battle continues, we must go back to our race leader, because he's led from the very first lap. Once he had to fight for it at the start, but once he got his lead back, Philippe Ugran has not put a foot wrong, and that is 2 out of 2 at round 2 for Philippe Ugran, who takes the race win. Mari Boya finishes in 2nd, and after a chaotic last lap, Lorenzo Fluxa takes 3rd place. A brilliant last lap, hugely entertaining race to watch. That is the F4 Spanish Championship if you've never watched it before, and welcome. Hope you've enjoyed it. Brilliant stuff. Philippe Ugran takes the win from Mari Boya. Lorenzo Fluxa is 3rd. Francesco Simonazzi is 4th. Oliver Girth, after that mistake, dropped from 2nd to 7th, recovered to 5th. Yassin Ferrati, involved in that chaotic last lap battle, actually dropped to 6th out of all of that. Dufek dropping to 7th place. Enrique Bordaz was in 8th place. Ivan Nozov had a more busy race than anyone. I think he was in 9th. I think he would just be glad to see the checkered flag by now. Valdemar Eriksson 10th. Augustin Collinon was 11th. Paul Adrian Palot was 12th. Enzo Juli was 13th. Leonard Bula was 14th. Then it was Alejandro Garcia, Carlos Martinez, Eloy Sebastian Lopez, Merbod Shemeli was 18th, and then your non-finishers Suleiman Zamfari. After that incident with Javier Sagrera, Kaz Havakor grinded to a halt on lap number 7. Well, pretty good race. That one, wasn't it? I'd say that would be that would be putting it lightly, so to speak. It was a very, very entertaining race all the way to the flag. We did have that safety car, but you know what? That just made it even more exciting. But out of all of that, we had a comfortable race win for Philippe Ugran, who has once again this weekend just controlled the race from the front.
Yeah, it reminds me very much of when Genza Motorsport turned up last year with Giorgio Carrara and Johnny Edgar.
And he won all 3 races.
Yeah, won all 3. And very impressive as well is that Kaz Havakor hasn't finished this race. Only did 3 laps, still got fastest lap, still got a pretty substantial points lead. He
leads, in fact, now you say that.
15 points, I think.
I think you're right. So Mari Boya, let's confirm the race order. We'll work that out a little bit later. So Philippe Ugran wins from Mari Boya, and Lorenzo Fluxa, who was a lot closer than 5.7 seconds, but after that last lap battle did just enough to hold on. And what an entertaining battle that was. Simonazzi 4th, Oliver Girth 5th, Yassin Ferrati 6th, and it was Dufek, 3rd time lucky. Bordaz was next along, Nozov, Eriksson, Collinon, Palot. Then we had Juli, Bula, Garcia, Martinez, Lopez, Shemeli, Zamfari, Havakor, and Sagrera sadly not finishing the race. Zamfari a lap down in the end. But brilliant racing. There's going to be one more of them as well. It will be the last race of the day here at Paul Ricard, and it will be live at 25 minutes past 6. But there is your race winner, the number 14 of Philippe Ugran. So Mari Boya finished in 2nd place. That will give Mari Boya 12 points. We add that to his 47 points. He's up to 57. So in terms of the gap, as you can see there, Mari Boya, that pretty much a win for him, considering the car ahead is a guest car. But that brings him up to, where are we? What were we saying? That brings him up to 57. That's where I was. And that's going to leave him around 26 points back. So it's still a little bit of a gap, but that's just how good Kaz Havakor has been. He before this race had 3 wins and a second in 4 races in the championship. So that's the first time he actually hasn't finished on the podium. For Mari Boyer, that is his 3rd podium of the season. For Philippe Ugran, it's 2 wins in 2 races. And as for Lorenzo Fluxa, that is his 2nd podium of the season. 4th, 3rd, 6th, 7th and 3rd. Well, let's recap the race then. Off the line, it was a brilliant start there from Kaz Havercourt. He would take the lead going down towards turn number 1, ahead of Philippe Ugran. Behind you had Mari Boyer and Oliver Gerth, the 4, all battling away as we came in towards the first couple of corners for the first time. Then going around the outside there, we had a move there from Ugran. Havercourt as Ugran tried to get the lead back from Havercourt, wasn't quite able to get through, but the battle would continue. Eventually, Ugran got back through and would start to break away out front. Here were the battles a little bit further back. Brilliant battles of 4 all the way through. Likewise, a little bit lower down the top 10. Ivan Nozov there trying to make a move through turns 8 and 9. Continuing battles. Unfortunately, we did have a safety car, and this was the reason why. Zagrera going round and tagging Suleiman Zamfari. Zagrera coming to a halt. Kaz Havercourt would come to a halt at the same time. As for the reason, still unaware behind that one, him dropping out of a podium position. Then the race got back underway with Ugran leading it. Ugran would start to break away out front, but the battles behind would continue to be just as entertaining. This was the battle for 3rd on the very last lap in the middle of picture. Lorenzo Fluxa just about managing to get through. We had on the outside there, Yasser Ferrati running wide. Simonazzi came through to pick up 4th place, but no one could beat Philippe Ugran out of the final corner. He would take the 2nd win of the weekend, and he is unbeaten so far here at Paul Ricard in the F4 Spanish Championship. So I believe we had some investigations, but I'll tell you what, why don't we talk about it in race 3? Race 3 is coming up at 25 minutes past 6. Hope you've enjoyed race 2. Come back for some more action in a few hours' time here at Paul Ricard.